All right, this is my kind of reaction review video to Companion. I have no idea who stars in it. I don't know who wrote it, directed, or anything. I know it stars the guy from The Boys, the one that's the boy in it. And that's it. That's all I remember. I mean, that's all I really know from it. But I did enjoy it. And, oh, my bad. Jeff Carroll, Sci-fi Express Lane, writer, filmmaker, comic book guy. All right. So back to this film called Companion. It was a trailer that I kind of stumbled on, and then when I saw the trailer, I don't even think it played in any of the movies that I was in the theaters to see, but I saw the trailer and it reminded me of my story, Programmable Man, right? I wrote a story about a robot who's gets a feelings program so he can become a security robot that gets converted to a love robot, right? And it's from a woman's needs, not a man's needs. And the companion is following the same old trope. I don't know if Hollywood prevents this or only chooses this trope or the storyline, or if that's what writers only submit and write. I've been submitting Programmable Man for a minute, but it was really just a short, and I haven't really written a longer story to it, but it is part of a bigger universe, and so there's an easier, bigger story that goes with it. Anyway, back to Companion. This guy gets a robot, and this is all revealed in the trailer, so there's no spoilers. I'm gonna try not to spoil it, but some people don't even analyze trailers, so you could tell them what's in this trailer and they'd be like, you spoiled the movie, whatever. So in the trailer, the guy has a love robot, and it freaks out for all intents and purposes. Now that's as much as revealed in the trailer. That's as much as I'll tell you about the movie. But I will say I like the movie. I like the twists. There's a couple of twists in the movie, and it is sort of like Ex Machina or Ex Machina, however you want to pronounce it, in that it explores the uses of robots in our emotional serviceable life, physical servicing as well. It reminds me of the TV show, what do you call it? Humans, right? In the sense that, there was an emotional abuse of the robots, and the robots became self-aware. I think that's even revealed in this trailer, that the robot becomes self-aware. One of the things that the trailer really features prominent is the robot saying, I 2 days I enjoyed, I killed him, and then I met him, and then the day I killed him, right? That is a good line. It makes no sense. I remember seeing it when I saw the trailer. I was like, this makes no sense. It was supposed to be real provocative, and I think it just fell flat, at least on me. I don't know how other people felt about it, but I will say, when you see the story, when you see the movie, it makes sense. It makes more sense. I still wouldn't have put it necessarily in the trailer. It still needed more, needed a little bit more, but that's good. What else can I say? I think one of the turns in the movie, shifts in the movie, brings up a question about us, in the story Humans, there were different types of ways robots were being treated. And mind you, in my universe, The Future of Sex, that's where I deal with all the love robots. And The Programmable Man was just one of the stories in that. You know, I had robot abuse in there, but it may have only been one storyline. I didn't have no girl with the dragon tattoo. I didn't have any real Skynet self-aware threat. And I think when it comes to those real doomsday scenarios, you have to be a little paranoid and doomsday yourself. And what I liked about Companion is it's a good movie without any of that Skynet, without any of that girl with the dragon tattoo, robot serial killer stuff. It didn't have it. So when you say, oh, you know, movies need or stories need these extreme things that happen to them, you didn't need that in the Companion. It might have been inferred in Ex Machina, but Ex Machina was slow as hell. It might put you to sleep. Most of the stuff in Ex Machina is all dialogue. So you probably would get as much from the movie as you would get from a book. In Ex Machina, visually, it's not a lot going on. I like Blade Runner, but the Blade Runner comic books get more into the diversity of what can happen to people and robots. So, in Blade Runner, the robots are a threat to humanity that is not really clear. They can live long. What is the threat? And I think that, to me, is the biggest problem with the movies, Blade Runner 1, Blade Runner 2. You have to fill in the blank. I don't feel threatened by a robot living forever. Is the robot running for president? Is the robot taking away my freedoms? No. But in Blade Runner, they hire these Blade Runners to go after, robots. The robots that they have are hiding. They're not even becoming serial killers. I think there's a murder in the first Blade Runner, but I don't think that's the reason why they have the Blade Runners. In the second Blade Runner, the robot is hiding away from everybody, not bothering anybody, and the Blade Runner goes in and kills him or terminates him. Epic fight scene. I think it's Batista or somebody that plays the robot, big monster-sized robot, but the robot is living peacefully. So almost like Arnold Schwarzenegger in the last Terminator movie, he was hiding in the woods, married, trying to live his life, but they felt threatened by it. So the Companion kind of fills in a lot of those blanks, but still, it shows how empty it is to feel threatened by robots just living forever. Like the girl with the dragon tattoo. There's an element that, certain human cultures have on abusing the weak, whether it's children, whether it's women, whether it's even drugged out men. And humans dealt with that. And Companion alludes that it's in the universe, but doesn't deal with it either, and I like that. I think overall, when I think of the movie Companion, I'm thinking, this is the third movie in a row where it went on without a lot of celebration, anticipation. A lot of people are like, yo, what movie? That movie came out? I remember seeing Flight Plan last week, and before that, I saw Wolfman. And all three of these movies were good. They were not bad. But I think we got used to, what's the movie coming out next week? Captain America. You know, the next blockbuster, the next big thing. And movies are for the blockbusters, but they're not only for the blockbusters. Now, could Companion benefited from Michaela's writing, who wrote Megan and my favorite movie, Malignant? Hell yeah. You know, hell yeah. I think she's a writer of now. I would like to write as good as her, and I think if I'm given the chance, some of the humor that I bring is from the same universe that Michaela pulls from, and I think Companion could have dealt with that. It's like almost seeing what a movie would have been like if Will Smith wasn't in it. You know, you always wonder, you know, Will Smith gets these movies, he plays these regular roles, and they're good movies, and be like, no. If you think about it, without Will Smith, without them little jokes that he does, without his attitude, his acting, that movie might be flat, and or it wouldn't lose something by not having him in it. And does, you know, Companion would be better with, you know, probably, I hate to say it, but a more charismatic actor, because acting is not just saying the lines and acting the character. It's also bringing something to the role. And I think somebody in this movie should have brought something to the role, and maybe they just listened to the director. But either way, it was flat as hell, you know, and it's still good. And that's crazy. Same thing like with the Wolfman. It needed a little extra, but it was still good, you know. And I think with the extra, it might have been great. How about that? You know, with a Will Smith or The Rock. And Rock doesn't really do that with every role because he doesn't fit every role. But when he does, it's crazy. So I don't know. I said this to my son about, you know, 3 medium reactionary movies in a row, but he was like, no, you know, Wolfman made his budget. It just feels different. It just feels like people aren't seeing it, and maybe they are. It just feels like they aren't, you know. I think another thing that I think, yeah, this was a movie without black people. I think was the Wolfman was also without black people. It's not that they're necessary, but it is what it is. But I will say, my story, The Programmable Man, is very much like Companion. And even though it was very much like it, there's so much room for my story because it's black that I can still pitch it. And I think something like The Companion, with the name Companion, mine is about a woman that needs a robot. Those movies can coexist. It's not a Flash, Quicksilver, or Ant-Man, Atom. No, it's not one of those DC Marvel similarity things. My story is that much different. It's amazing. So, and the difference is definitely because of the race and the culture difference. And so I've been trying to make my movie as short. I think what I saw in The Companion opened my mind to doing The Programmable Man more realistic, right? Because Programmable Man was set so far in the future, I couldn't find a location. And Companion was set right in our time, and so it made sense. Anyway, there's a lot of things. I talked about robots, and I talked about like film. this is just a little vent session. Hadn't made a video in a while, so I wanted to make a video, but I did want to say this. I was going to do it as a Facebook post, but I was like, nah, let me do this full thing. Anyway, that's it. Touch base with you later. See if I can unload here. My little car can squeeze in almost everywhere. And that's it. Like, subscribe, share, and comment. Jeff Carroll out. Sci-Fi Express Lane out. Deuces.